record.
And it didn't crash. Ooh.
We are no more program crashes. We are on air. Adobe did one thing right.
It won't happen again.
Okay, sorry, knock on wood.
One thing. You have to knock 3 times.
You have to knock 3 times?
It has to be divisible by 3. So it doesn't work.
Says who?
God.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part of the Bible when God said you have to knock on wood times divisible by 3 in order to avoid jinxing yourself. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I don't make the rules, God does.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll start the podcast.
Maybe.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Emma. We're sisters, and this podcast is where we read fanfiction from fandoms that we are not in.
And then we report our findings and try to guess the plot based on what we read. Emma, tell me what we're talking about today.
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen, I'm so excited for this episode. We are talking about Death Note.
Death Note!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have seen Death Note, and I just finished rewatching it a couple of days ago. So in this episode, it's going to be fun because we're going to do a semi-context kind of thing. So Ellie, tell me what you know about Death Note.
There was a TikTok that I saw where
Okay.
a girl had a notebook that looked like the Death Note. The Death Note is a black notebook.
Okay.
Get this. Yes. It says Death Note on the front of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you write someone's full name in it, they die? ?
Okay.
Okay. But the TikTok that I saw, this girl had the Death Note notebook, okay? And she, as like a funny meme, wrote down Trump in the notebook. But
I have seen that TikTok.
Get this, though.
Okay.
The person duetting it was like, no, you have to write his full name or it doesn't work. So then I was like, oh, wow, you have to write their full name or it doesn't work.
Yes, you do. Okay. Do you know anything else?
There is a scary guy named Ryuk.
Ryuk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's scary.
He is scary. He looks real creepy.
I know this is so weirdly specific, but his original character design looks almost exactly like the villain Dobby from My Hero Academia.
I don't know anything about My Hero Academia, but I do know the original concept art.
Why was he looking so hot, though?
I know, like, he was looking super hot.
And they made him so...
Let's go back.
No, I prefer him to be ugly.
I do like scary Ryuk.
If I read fanfiction and all of a sudden I start simping for Ryuk, I will walk to your house and kill you personally. I don't think I could survive. Like, Emma, I know that there are people in the world that simp for Ryuk.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was incredible.
I am so happy for you. I find
Thank
it
you.
horrifying.
Anything else?
The Netflix movie starring one of the Wolf brothers, and we talked about it and I can't remember which one. It's the one that's not in Hereditary. It's Nat?
It's not.
Those Wolf brothers are cute. Unrelated to
Who does he play?
anything. He's the main character.
Oh, okay. Do you know any of the other characters besides Ryuk?
Well, Light is the main character, and L is the main antagonist, but Ryuk is like a demon guy, so he's also an antagonist, ?
I love L more than anything.
Does he run
I stand by that.
the Death Note agency? When you write a name in the Death Note, the operators at the Death Note agency get a little ring. Bring, bring. Death Note agency, how may I direct your call? And they're like, I wrote my high school bully's name in the Death Note.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be so much fun. Ellie, this is gonna be so much fun for me.
I don't like the way that you said that and the way that you are looking at me
so
right
excited. The way, like,
Okay.
just from what you said right here, right now about the Death Note agency, I know that this is gonna be the most fun that I've ever had.
I will try and find an AU, because if someone hasn't already written a Death Note agency AU, it is my job.
Maybe.
I gotta find it.
I don't know. There actually isn't a lot of Death Note fanfiction out there.
What do you mean by not a lot? If you go, okay.
I mean, okay, I was gonna...
No. I need you to go on Archive of Our Own right now and look up the Death Note tag.
It is a lot.
No, I know, but I want to know the number because...
In comparison to, like,
Yes.
Harry Potter, you know?
Well, no one should be comparing anything to the
No
Harry
one should
Potter
be
fandom
comparing
because they are monsters when it
anything.
comes to putting out fanfiction.
Correct.
And Harry Potter
Okay,
is
Death
super mainstream. Not that Death Note isn't, but like...
Oh, there is a lot more than I thought. It's 14,700. I thought there was
In the
wait,
tag,
hold on.
or did you just
Hold
search
on.
it? No. You gotta
No,
check
that's-
the tag.
I was gonna say that is multiple fandoms with the title Death Note. Okay, there's only 6,400, which is what I was thinking.
Okay, I think Full Metal Alchemy
Full Metal Alchemy.
had about 7,000 something. Okay, well that gives me an idea of the fandom size.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to ask any questions?
I would say you're allowed to ask questions, but depending on what the question is, like if it's about a plot point, I want you to make a guess first.
Okay, is this show gay? I'm gonna say no, probably not.
It doesn't have any exclamation points.
It does not have exclamation points in the title. Okay, so we know it's not
does
gay.
not.
That's too bad.
I wish it had at least one or two, but it does not.
Yeah, well, in the Full Metal Alchemy episode, you specified you would like 5 or 6 exclamation points in Death Note.
I would. I want at least 2 on Death Note.
Yeah, what is your favorite ship in Death Note?
Oh, that's really hard.
Because you ship everyone or you don't ship anybody?
It's hard because when I watched this for the first time, I was super big into Light and L being together.
Okay, sure.
But rewatching it as a big kid, now that I'm able to, not romanticize bad qualities in a character,
Sure.
I don't think I ship L and Light anymore.
Interesting.
I don't ship anyone with Light.
Okay.
There's one popular ship that I didn't even know was a thing.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Mello and Matt. I'm gonna tell you that Matt is a side character who only shows up a couple of times and probably has maybe 6 lines in the whole show.
And this is a popular ship?
And this is like the 3rd most popular ship.
Wow, the power of fandom, dude.
I know. I literally had no idea.
That's incredible.
I think when I first watched it, I shipped Nier and Mello, but I don't think I'm down for that either.
Okay.
They give off more of like a brotherly vibe. Like, you
Okay.
know, they're not
yeah.
related, but I could see them.
No, they're bros.
Like, that's their relationship to me. It's like they're bros.
They're bros. Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I used to be big on ships in this show, but I'm not anymore.
Interesting.
I don't think I ship anyone.
Yeah. I don't even know what these people
I don't
look
want
like.
to tell you. I don't want to tell you anything about the characters either. Not yet.
Literally the only person's face that comes to mind. Well, I guess 2 people.
Okay.
When I think of Light, I do not know what the character looks like in the anime.
That's so funny.
All I can think of is Nat Wolff and Jeremy Jordan.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I'm mashing them up in my head, trying to be like,
That is
okay, so that's
incredible.
definitely what Light looks like.
I was gonna say he's skinny white boy who looks like he vapes for breakfast, but no, that's L. L is skinny white boy who looks like he vapes for breakfast.
Every good villain needs to look like they vape for breakfast.
Yeah, and never sleeps.
Is Ryuk shipped with anyone?
Well,
Do people dig that?
I think I saw one. I don't remember who was shipping Ryuk with anybody.
Yeah.
It might have been... So I'm going to tell you, Ryuk is a demon. He's a god of death, okay?
Right, yes.
There is another one. And
Coworkers
her
to
name
lovers.
is Rem.
Coworkers to lovers.
Exactly. So I have seen
I am gonna
some
be
people
on
ship
the hunt
Ryuk and Rem.
for that.
But here's the worst part.
Uh-oh.
I also have seen people ship Rem with a human girl. So, Misa Amane. I love Misa.
What a cute name.
Everyone hates her. She's very annoying. But they did her character so dirty.
I love a good, annoying female character because everyone's like,
Me too.
oh my gosh, she sucks. And I'm like, no, we love annoying women. Like, let women be annoying. You know?
She's so cute. Look, I'll show
Good
you
for
a picture
her.
of her.
Oh, she is cute.
She's adorable.
Interesting art style. When did Death Note come out?
It came out in 2006. But the movie came out in 2017.
No, I do recall when that film came out.
The yucky
Cursed.
movie.
You should watch it and let me know what you think. As far as the rest of Death Note goes, plot, I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay.
L wants the Death Note to kill people, and Light wants to not have him for him to do the Death Note.
That was a sentence. Okay, so you think that L wants the Death Note to kill people, and Light doesn't want L to have the Death Note. Does Light want to kill people or not?
I think that maybe he's tempted to.
Okay.
He gives off I'm bullied vibes, and maybe he deserves it.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about Light, but I feel like he deserves to get bullied.
Yeah, he does. I'll confirm that.
Yeah, and so I think that maybe he's bullied and he's like, oh, I could use the Death Note to hurt my bullies. But I feel like there's gotta be some weird, like, I mean, with the Death Note, I feel like you're making a deal with a demon. Like, literally making deals with demons. So then it gets crazy. I will be giving my coming of age. Light is a quirky 17-year-old boy, and one crazy summer, he makes a deal with a demon and accidentally kills his mom or something. I don't know if he kills his mom.
Whoa. I will be picking out some fanfiction for you, Ellie.
What do you have picked out for me? You don't have to give me the names or anything, but I'm wondering, are they alternate universes? Are they canon divergence?
The first one, it's either a fix-it-fic or post-canon. I don't remember. It does give, like, plot, I'm pretty sure. That's why I picked it out. The second one is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Death Note crossover. You're
joking.
I forgot that I put that one in there.
You're joking. No!
I'm not joking.
No!
I threw that in there. I haven't read it, but I am going to.
I feel I'm legally obligated to read it, though.
You have to.
Like, I have to. I can't
to.
not.
We just did an episode about Full Metal Alchemy Brotherhood. Part Metal Alchemy.
In this fanfiction, in this crossover, does Light go to the alchemy store?
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I would like to see it.
I also would like to see it.
Well, actually, you know what, though? The alchemy store is so low rated on Yelp that he would probably get, like, jumped or die on the way to the alchemy store.
Do you want me to read the tags?
Go ahead and read me some of the tags.
Okay, so we got depression, PTSD, rewrite. I'm not sure what we're rewriting because this is a crossover. So,
rewrite.
That helps. A rewrite of what?
Rewrite of what?
I will strangle cringe culture with my own 2 hands.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The mom is dead. It's very sad. Rating may change. Right now, it's teen and up audiences.
Are they talking about Trisha Elric mom or Light's mom?
I have 0 idea.
I love that. Maybe they both have dead moms.
I'm pretty sure they're talking about Trisha.
All right.
I'm super psyched.
I am psyched.
This is gonna be the most fun that I've ever had, I think.
Epic gamer moment.
Epic gamer moment.
Death Note. Yeah, so I will read the fanfiction that Emma has handpicked for me, and we will come back and report what I found, and Emma will give me a scathing letter grade review.
I will. And then answer questions after you make guesses.
I'm very excited. See you guys on the other side.
Yeah, baby!
And we're back! From Ellie reading a lot of Death Note fanfiction.
Yes.
Emma, tell me what's on the rubric for today.
Okay, so I wrote up this rubric on how I'm gonna grade Ellie, based on what she picked up from the fanfiction. The 4 things that I'm gonna grade her on are the general plot, creativity, characters, and canon relationships. I am very excited for this. A is basically, you got it all correct. B is mostly correct. C is mostly correct, but you added in stuff, or like you were missing big chunks. No. C is adding in things. D is missing big things. And then F is just, everything is wrong, everything is bad, you did a bad job.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited to get 0 marks on all of these.
So excited for you to fail my little Death Note school that I've created for you.
Oh, Death Note school!
Your term paper is due, so fork it over. I would like to say that Ellie texted me last night, all caps, just saying, "Bro, I want to watch Death Note so bad." And I lost my mind. I lost it. I love Death Note so much. That made me so excited. Oh my goodness. Oh, Ellie, would you like to tell me a little bit about your experience that you've had?
I would love to tell you about the experience that I had reading Death Note fanfiction out of context. Bro, if I am not watching Death Note within 5 seconds of us finishing recording this, I will pass away. I will not survive. I need to watch this show or I am going to die.
It's
like,
so
no
good.
cap.
It is so good.
I will lose my mind. Where to even begin? The fanfiction that I read was incredible.
Good. I did pick out some small ones for you. One of them was a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood crossover with Death Note. I have not read it.
I did not read that one.
But I am going to. I am very excited.
I am going to read that one tonight after we're done recording.
Okay, cool. All right, well...
should I jump into plot?
Jump right in. I'm going to be taking notes on what you are saying, and then I'm going to be grading you at the end.
Okay. This is, like, as stressful as, like, presenting a college thesis.
It should be.
I think. I have the same level of nerves as I would have over that.
Good. All right. I'm ready.
The things I said in the intro, I mostly stand by.
Okay.
Light is the protagonist of the story.
Yes.
He does deserve to get bullied. I was completely on the mark there. L is Light's antagonist. And then there's a bunch of other people. And I only know some of their names. Light has a mom, a dad, and a sister. Mm-hmm. His sister is his younger sister. I'm not sure how old she is, but she's old enough to, like, have a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. She seems cute. Light's dad, I'm not even gonna bother trying to say his name.
Ellie,
it's
I have
the
seen
one with the long name.
I've seen the show 2 times, and I still don't know how to say it. So we're just gonna call him Light's dad.
Soichiro.
Sure.
I don't know if he's a cop or if he's just a detective, but he's on a task force.
Yes.
And I'll get to the task force later. Light's mom is a mom. That's all I know about her. I know literally nothing about her. So, plot.
Mm-hmm.
Light is a quirky 17-year-old boy. Just vibing. And then one day, one fateful afternoon, a Death Note falls out of the sky for reasons unknown to me and apparently every person that writes fanfiction, because nobody explained where the Death Note came from.
That is so funny,
It
really?
just fell out of the sky. No one explained
it?
It just fell out of the sky.
Do you want me to explain it?
Or
Or do you want to get through this whole thing before I explain anything?
No, I'm gonna get through the whole thing before
Okay.
you explain anything. Alright. So Light picks up the Death Note.
Yes.
Okay, so I did watch some clips from Death Note, the 2017 Netflix film.
Ew.
I know. No, it was bad. I wasn't even like, I didn't want to go in super biased. I was like, oh, I know everyone says it's terrible, but how bad could it be? Emma, I know almost nothing about Death Note, and I couldn't even watch
It's
it.
bad.
I was like, I am offended on behalf of Death Note fans.
That's so funny.
So I watched a clip from the show and from the movie,
Mm-hmm.
comparing when Light meets Ryuk. Okay, so Ryuk is a Shinigami. Okay, Emma, why would I pronounce anything the right way? Okay, he's like a demon or like a god of death.
Yes.
And he's bound to Light via the Death Note, but he has his own Death Note.
Okay.
So when Light finds the Death Note, he doesn't know who Ryuk is until he starts using it. And Ryuk shows up like days after he started using the Death Note. And he's like, "What's up, kid?" That's what he says. "What's up, kid? I've never seen someone put that many names in the Death Note in such a short amount of time, ever." That was the moment that I realized we were dealing with a garbage person.
Yeah, Light is bad.
Light Yagami is a nightmare factory on two legs. I hate this guy. I hope he dies. Don't worry, I'll get to that. So Light uses the Death Note. He starts writing people's names in it and their method of death. And if you write someone's method of death, like within a certain number of seconds after writing their name, they'll die that way. Which I'm sure you could get very creative with, which is horrifying.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the first death he does is and why. But, regardless, he basically makes himself God and decides, I'm gonna take this into my own hands. And I'm gonna become justice.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really jacked up. Surprise! That's bad. So, Light becomes a mass murderer.
Mm-hmm.
He is 17, and he decides to take it upon himself to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes.
And he thinks that it's good because he's like, well, I'm taking down common criminals and ridding the world of not just crime, but immorality in general.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you, but I feel some kind of weird way about a 17-year-old boy deciding what is right and wrong and who dies.
Yeah.
So based on some of the fics that I read, actually it was one of the ones that you sent me, was that Wattpad one. It's not, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not on Wattpad, it was on Archive of Our Own, but Emma sent it to me and was like, this has Wattpad energy.
It does! It did,
and
didn't
it? Does,
it?
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, it did have Wattpad energy.
I only read like the first paragraph and I was like, this is Wattpad energy, and then I threw it in the doc.
No, seriously, the first 3 paragraphs just describe the main character's outfit.
Yeah.
And the main character isn't Light. It was an original character, so
Oh,
that's
it
how you know
was?
it's Wattpad material.
I didn't even know. That's so funny.
Anyway, Light becomes a mass murderer.
Mm-hmm.
After Light becomes a mass murderer, I'm assuming the news picks up on a bunch of people dying all the time for no apparent reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring in this detective the world's greatest detective, apparently. The character L. L. Laliette, is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
Okay. L is one spooky boy.
I love him so much.
So creepy and he just acts, kind of weird, but he's one of those
he vapes for breakfast and has never slept a day in his life.
Yeah, so I was wrong about him being a bad guy.
You were very wrong.
I don't think he's bad at all. I think he's maybe the only good person in this entire freaking show. This show is just full of psychos. Everyone sucks. Everyone literally is awful. Or no, except for L. L is the only man I trust. L is, for some reason, 24 years old and the world's greatest detective, which has big, I'm the quirky special protagonist energy a little bit. It was like, oh, he's 24 and he's a genius. Okay, we believe you. But he doesn't show his face and no one knows his real identity.
Yes.
Right, so he wears a mask and his, persona of L, the world's greatest detective, he, modulates his voice and he doesn't show his face and blah, blah, blah. But he has, a group that works with him. L is an orphan and he was raised in an orphanage in London, so everyone's British all of a sudden. Not everyone. This takes place in Tokyo, but L and his little goon squad are all from England. They were raised in the same orphanage together, I think. So, some of the people that were in the orphanage with him, Mello, aka M, Near, aka N, both of those people are successors to L, so if L dies, they will take on the mantle or the persona of L the detective. Mello is a teenager. I think he's younger than L, but Near is straight up a child. He's like 10 or so. Maybe he's younger than that. He looks really young. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know his age, but I love him so much.
This literal child.
I know he's very young.
Yeah. He looks really young. Some other characters that I don't know how they fit in.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, yeah. What's your question?
So, in your telling, do Mello and Near work with L? Because you said L's goon squad.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good, so I'll clarify. So they are L's successors if L dies. I think Near and L are friends.
Okay.
I think they have a friendly relationship. Mello, I'm not sold on, because I feel like they would be rivals.
Okay.
In a way. Another character I have written down, Matt. Triple question marks. Is he British?
Matt.
And that's all I have written down for him.
I don't know if Matt is British. No one in the show has a British accent. One character might.
Is it Whammy?
Yes.
Quill Schwammy? Does he have... Okay, because he's the owner of the orphanage.
Yeah.
Watari.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where L, M, and N grew up. Now, speak of the devil, Umbrella Academy vibes.
Whoa.
We just did an episode on Umbrella Academy. He straight up just, collected orphans and was like, these are my kids now, and I'm gonna train them to be detectives?
Anyway.
Is this a child detective agency? Okay, I like that a lot. So the Whammy House is is an orphan child detective agency now. Whammy seems cool. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like he genuinely cares about the children, and if he actually is evil, I will be passing away, because I could not handle the heartbreak.
That's understandable.
If that were true. Plot, who knows what happened to that. Okay, so Light is Kira. So I originally thought Kira was the title of whoever holds the Death Note, but the more I read, the more I think Kira is the name that Light gave himself to like taunt the police or something, or like people know him as Kira for some reason, but they don't know that he is Kira. Elle and Light have a kind of Sherlock Moriarty dynamic going on.
Yeah.
Very much this game of cat and mouse. Elle is the tortured genius that is trying to capture him.
Yeah.
Light just wants to kill a bunch of people and doesn't want anyone to interrupt him, but he's definitely a good guy. I hate this guy.
Oh, you betcha.
I don't even know what to say. Light sucks. All my homies hate Light. Okay, so then at some point, Elle catches up to Light, aka Kira, and is convinced that he has the right guy. Okay, so Elle is like, this is definitely Kira, no question in my mind. Now, here's the complication. Light is the son of Suichiro, who is on the task force that is hunting down Kira. Right? So then there's that weird complication of like, oh, the chief's son or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. The other complication is that when you give up the Death Note, the demon erases your memory of you having the Death Note and any of the names that you wrote in it. So Light gives it up at some point and doesn't remember that he is Kira. So Elle catches him and is like, this is definitely the guy, all I need is proof. And Light is like, well, that's great, I guess, but you've got the wrong guy. I'm definitely not Kira. And he's technically, I mean, he's not telling the truth, but he thinks he is because he doesn't remember.
He lost his memory.
That's really interesting.
Okay.
Light does get the Death Note back later, and all of that memory is brought back to him, but he's in Elle's custody with, like, the police or whatever for, like, 2 months or something. They're together for a really long time, and Elle decides a totally normal course of action is to handcuff himself to Light.
Totally normal.
Because that's just what normal people do. That was when I was like, this guy is Sherlock Holmes. Like, he's very... Okay, let me rephrase that. This guy is Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock. BBC
Yes.
Sherlock.
That's so funny.
That's very chaotic BBC Sherlock energy of,
is.
well, I can't prove that you're the bad guy, but I'm convinced that you are because I can't possibly be wrong. So let me handcuff myself to you. Normal stuff for normal guys.
Yeah.
Another character I forgot to mention, Misa, is a girl.
Uh-huh.
And she is Light's, if not his straight up girlfriend, a love interest. I'm not sure if it's one-sided or not. But she offers to join Light in his quest for killing because she wants to serve Kira. Light, as Kira, wants to become the god of the new world, basically. He wants to continue to be judge, jury, and executioner. That's terrifying. But anyway.
It is.
Misa comes along and is like, I want to help you be evil because that sounds like a really good time. And he's like, okay, I guess.
Do you know why she wants to join him?
Well, originally I thought it was just she's a nut job. And that's just what crazy girls do. She's just so quirky. Rar
so
XD,
funny.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls.
My gosh. Misa is in the serial killer fandom. Misa got on Tumblr and she started making Kira mood boards. Okay? With pictures of like fake blood and handcuffs and then like shadowy figures and then like a picture of a celebrity that she has a crush on that she's convinced is what Light looks like. Okay, yeah, Misa is in the serial killer fandom. She made mood boards and she has an entire blog dedicated to worshiping Kira, and
I'm so with that.
She's like thirsting over him, but then plot twist. There's more than one Death Note. That's established from the beginning, that there are multiple Death Notes, okay? Somehow Misa gets her hand on one. Don't know why, don't know how. The demon that's attached to that Death Note is the Shinigami Rem, who is a lady demon.
Ooh.
She's not like other demons. She's a lady.
No. She's a lady.
I don't even know what she looks like. I will find out later because I'm going to watch Death Note 5 seconds after we finish recording this. But she is connected to Misa via her Death Note, ? After that, the plot really got away from me. Don't know what happens when, where, or how. But Elle dies and Light continues to be Kira without anyone knowing that's who he is, right? So he keeps the facade up. Does he let Misa join him? I don't think so. Maybe for a little bit, but Light seems like the kind of guy that wants to work alone because he sucks and he's an idiot and he's a loser, garbage person. I hate this guy.
Me too.
Now, okay, wait. Let me back up. So, Rem kills Elle for Light.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means, but that's what I have written down. I forgot. So, Light then doesn't write his name in the Death Note. He has Rem kill Elle for him, but I'm not sure why. Now, Misa, I don't know how valid this is, but I think she gets arrested for being Kira.
Okay.
Because technically she also has a Death Note, so, I don't have anything to substantiate that except some fanfiction descriptions and that's it. But some of the fic that I read, and it's still really unclear to me how this all fits together, there were these, alternate kind of canon divergences that was, Elle makes a deal with Rem to get life in prison and get immunity from Misa. There were several that I read that were really? That kind of idea. There were
so interesting.
More than one fic that was basically trying to save Elle's life by Rem and Elle making a deal with each other to save him from whatever Light was trying to do to him. Don't know what that means. But it's interesting.
Okay.
Alright, end of the story.
Okay.
Touta Matsuda
I love
is a cop. He seems like one cool dude. He has a gun. Because he's a cop. I just have has a gun written down in all caps. The first fic that I read, again, the one that you sent me, that was the end of the series from Matsuda's perspective.
Right.
Matsuda shoots Light multiple times as Light is trying to write someone's name in the Death Note. I don't know if Matsuda is trying to if it's a self-preservation thing, if he's gonna write his name in the Death Note, or if he's trying to defend someone else that Light is trying to write his name in the Death Note. Now, from another fanfiction that I read, Nier, aka N, aka the literal child that grew up in an orphanage with Elle,
I love him,
is present at this climax where Light gets shot up. And in that fic that I read, not the one that you sent me, the other one, Matsuda becomes incredibly protective of Nier and goes bananas. So I'm gonna go with Matsuda as protecting Nier. I think that's cute.
Okay.
Save the kids kind of thing. So yeah, Matsuda shoots Light and he shoots him in the hand trying to get him to stop writing. And then someone says he's using his blood. Light using his own blood as ink to try and finish writing in the Death Note. Are you kidding me? Ah! Woo! That's so crazy!
I know. Isn't
it insane?
It's insane.
I was on the edge of my seat.
This dude is crazy.
This dude is insane. I'm so happy that he's dead. But yeah, Matsuda kills Light, and one of the rules of the Death Note is that when you die, if you are the holder of the Death Note, when you die, your demon, your assigned demon from the Death Note agency, writes your name in their Death Note
Mm-hmm.
to take you from this world, and then after you die, neither heaven nor hell wants you, so you are doomed to limbo forever.
Yup.
If you wrote in the Death Note at all. Surprise, Light wrote so many names in the Death Note that even the god of death was surprised. That is concerning to me.
It is concerning.
Light has no rights. Light's rights
None.
have been revoked.
None. No
Zero.
rights.
Zip.
Bye-bye. Say goodbye.
Nada. Adios. So yeah, Light dies. And I think that confirms that Light was Kira. Epic gamer moment for
Epic
Matsuda.
gamer moment. King.
And I'm assuming that Matsuda worked with Elle because they were on the investigation together. So there's probably a lot of vindication there where Matsuda was like, Elle was right the whole time. I feel terrible that we didn't, like, listen, or we didn't believe him, or we couldn't prove it, or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
at least Light is dead now, and Kira has been stopped.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as who lives, who dies, Elle dies, Light dies. I think Misa maybe dies, because that just seems kind of fun. I don't know. Misa either dies or gets life in prison for having a Death Note.
Okay.
It is unclear to me, still, whether people in this world know what the Death Note is. If it's, like, a known
Right.
thing, or if it's just, like, a spooky urban legend that people hear about, but they don't know if it's true or not, or they think it's not true. They think it's just, like, a child's tale, you know? I think it's probably closer to that. I think in this world, people know about the Death Note, but think of it as an urban legend and not a thing that actually exists, right?
Interesting.
Another thing, this is just kind of a random point. Light is the only person that can see Ryuk.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryuk just hangs out.
He's just vibing.
He's just vibing.
Straight vibing.
Having a good time. I like Ryuk.
I do too. He
Seems
fun.
like a cool guy. Yeah, he and Rem, I think, are really interesting because I feel like as gods of death, you would think that they're evil and bad, but I see them more as neutral characters.
Mm-hmm.
They are giving people the tools to do what they will with them, to kind of see what's gonna happen, but it's more of a fascination thing than I want you to kill people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then people can choose to use the Death Note or not. I mean, Ryuk even says when he and Light meet for the first time that many people are so, like, nervous or hesitant about using the Death Note at all. And he's shocked by Light's taking to it so quickly.
Light
I thought that was really interesting.
a nightmare on legs.
I hate him. Something else that I thought was really creepy is that, like, I read one that was a conversation between Light and Ryuk, and I think it was going over their first meeting, but in more, like, detail of, like, Light's inner thoughts when this interaction is happening. Light seems way too eager when Ryuk shows up. He's like, you must be the demon.
Literally.
That is coming to, oh, are you gonna drag my soul, you know, down to hell or whatever? And Ryuk is like, I'm literally just standing here. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm literally just here to hang out.
Yeah, like, Ryuk doesn't care, and Light is so, like, thirsty over this idea of being, like, having his soul dragged away or something. And he likes it, and he smiles and laughs about that. What is going on with this kid?
Super messed up.
Can we get Light some psychological help, please?
Can we get this boy a therapist?
Yeah.
Please.
Please. I will pay out of pocket for this guy.
I won't, but...
Yeah, actually, I probably wouldn't either. I've got my own problems.
I have my own issues.
If he's gonna be a psycho, he's gonna be a psycho, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
Anyway, though, do you have any questions? Because that's pretty much everything. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover.
I want to go through characters again, the characters that you have written down. I want you to tell me who of those people, because you already said that Elle, Light, and possibly Misa die. Is there anyone else who you think dies?
I don't know if anyone in Light's family dies, but I think it would be just, like, very fitting for the show. Not something that I personally would revel in, but I think it would be very fitting for the tone of the show if Sayu died, his sister. That just seems like something that would happen.
Ellie, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
Okay? His dad dies. First of all,
rip.
That's
in peace.
Normal. You know, that's like a normal TV trope thing.
If you're an anime character, your dad
your dad has to die.
Your dad has to your dad either has to die or leave you.
Exactly. You can't have a good dad.
You can't have a good dad.
You can't have a good dad.
Yeah, okay, so his dad dies.
Okay, dad dies.
Just girly things.
Just girly things.
Just light things. Whoops.
Yikes.
That's nasty, dude.
Okay, yeah, so... Yep. His mom is chill. You don't get any information about his mom. Really not a lot about Sayu other than that she's, like, the cutest, perfect little sister ever.
She's cute. She's nice. She's like the embodiment of good.
Yeah, she's so precious. Dad is pretty cool. He literally... Oh, poor dad, honestly. Like, Light... I don't remember if Light killed his dad or just let his dad die.
That's what I was trying to figure out, too. Did he let him die?
I don't remember if he killed his dad or if he set up the death of his dad kind of thing. Like, he might have had a... Does that make sense? Like, he accidentally had a hand in it. Like, he did something and then his dad died because of the thing that he did. It wasn't, like, intentional to kill his dad, but it happened.
Yeah, sure.
And he didn't care.
Sure. Of course not. Why would he? Because he's the worst.
He's the worst.
He's the worst kind of person.
Literally.
I hate him so much.
Me too. I hate him so much. But yeah, Dad was great. I loved the dad. Okay. The dad loved Light far too much. Throughout the whole thing, Elle was like, yeah, your son is Kira.
Your son is a serial killer.
It's not my son. It's not my son. How dare you? And, like, literally the whole entire time, he's like, I will do anything to help you prove that my son is not a mass murderer.
Of course.
Well, he was.
Surprise!
And that's part of why at the very end, when Matsuda shoots Light, he, like, blows up, is because Light had some kind of hand in his dad's death. And Matsuda's like, you didn't even care. Your dad was trying to
kill your
you
own dad.
You didn't even care. I'm gonna shoot you now.
Life over. He deserved it.
Game over. Epic gamer moment for Matsuda.
That's an epic gamer moment for Matsuda.
Really
he got that really 360 no scope.
Oh my gosh, Ellie, I was so happy. The character development that Matsuda gets, like, this was a good moment. This was peak moment for him, because the whole show, he's like this idiot who's always trying to do good, but always ends up doing bad on accident. And everyone calls him an idiot and says that he's stupid like every 2 seconds. And I was like, Matsuda, I love you. I love you, Matsuda.
We love Matsuda.
I love him. Okay, so I'm going to go over the things in the plot that you got wrong. You actually got it almost completely correct. So I'm going to give you an A on plot.
Wow!
I'm going to give you an A.
The only thing I've ever succeeded at.
Oh,
incredible.
congratulations.
Completely pointless podcast.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I got the plot of Death Note right.
It's wonderful.
My college professors will be thrilled.
They'll be thrilled. Light did not give himself the name Kira. Kira it's a translation of killer in Japanese.
Okay.
So that's why they call him Kira. Is because it means killer, which is very spooky. So that's why they call him Kira.
Is that what the news calls him?
Mm-hmm.
Or like the
that's
people
what the
that
public
are hunting
starts
him down?
calling him, and he's like, okay, I vibe. And he takes, like, pride in his new name that they've given him.
Of course he does.
Because he's disgusting. Yeah, I mean, plot was fine. Light does let Misa join him again, multiple times.
Oh.
The only time, there is a point in time where he doesn't let her help him, but that's because they're watching her so closely.
Oh, yeah.
The task force is, and so he's like, you are gonna slip up.
Way, dude.
I cannot let you touch anything right now.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna give you an A on characters as well.
Bro. Oh my gosh.
You did really well with this. You did amazing with this. I know that I'm gonna get, like, all F's on Dishonored. I'm so prepared for that.
Dude, give me my bachelor's degree right now. All straight A's so far on the Death Note Agency.
Straight A's on Death Note Agency. Yeah, the only thing that I had circled and underlined on characters was you weren't sure if Misa and Light's love life was one-sided or not. It fully is. Misa is so in love with him, and Light is using her so much to a terrible, terrible level. It's so bad.
That's what I assumed. As far as Light and Misa's relationship goes, I assumed that either Light had some kind of attraction for her, but she was just conveniently there to be used, so he did, or he had no attraction to her. And one reason I wondered about the one-sided attraction thing is that there was a fic that was a slight canon divergence, where when Light denies Misa helping him, she goes full yandere and just starts killing people, which I think is really fun.
That is very powerful. Misa is a very fun character. A lot of people don't like her because she's annoying, but they really did her character dirty. The only reason, like, she had some form of personality at the beginning, but the longer the show went on, she was purely there just for Light to use her, and she, like, didn't have an actual character, and I'm so mad about it.
Hey, let's get some diversity in writers' rooms.
Yeah, maybe let's write actual women characters and not kill all of them.
I am vibing so hard with just the concept of Death Note in general. Here's my proposal for how to improve Death Note. Okay. This is the Death Note Agency alternate universe. Okay, 1930s, 1940s era. Alright. People work at the Death Note Agency, and every time you write a name in the Death Note, the agency gets a little ring. Bring, bring. Death Note Agency. How may I direct your call? And then you tell them how you want the person to die, and then somehow they do it. I don't know how. Maybe they send out an assassin. That'd be kind of funny. There's just assassins coming and going. Wait, this has big John Wick energy. Death Note John Wick crossover when? I'm just kidding. I need to stop coming up with bad crossover. Every episode so far I've come up with a bad crossover idea.
There's at least one per episode.
Wait a second. Maybe this is my bit then. This will be a running thing. What's the worst crossover I can come up with naturally in an episode? John Wick Death Note.
John Wick Death Note. While we are talking about bad crossovers, I do want to throw this out. I know that we talked about this, and I mentioned it to you, but I would love for everyone else in the world to hear about this. While I was searching for fan fiction for you to read, I found a Death Note and Dan and Phil crossover. Dan and Phil, the YouTubers, and it was shipping Light with Daniel Howell, a real-life person. And I think it's just because they look similar.
Because they're both twinks?
They're both twinks. They're both brunette twinks.
Really, I don't even have the words.
I don't have the words.
To describe how much I despise that.
I hate that a lot.
Like, and listen, it's not because I hate crossovers.
No.
There are very few things in fan fiction that I'm super against. That sounds so sketchy when I say that out loud.
That does sound so
Don't
sketchy,
go crazy. Really? Okay, don't go crazy. But I'm not here to police what people want to write about. No. Okay, I am not about that. However, when it comes to writing about real people. I mean, the thing about fan fiction, it's all fictional. So there is there is no lack of consent of the people you're writing about because they don't exist. When you're writing about real people, though, you are taking out their ability to consent to the things you're writing about.
Yep. And
that is where it gets so sketchy. So I've seen people write fan fiction of real people. It's like the YouTuber fandom.
It's always right. It's mostly the YouTube fandom.
Yeah.
Kids. I used to be one of those kids. I wrote oh my gosh. In middle school, I wrote a Dan Howell fan fiction.
I cannot believe you're admitting this.
With my it was a self-insert. I had an OC. And it got over 13,000 hits, baby.
I hope you know I'm keeping this in.
That's fine.
Your sins need to be known.
It's time for the truth to come out.
We're doing an out-of-character episode. We're doing an out-of-character episode at some point about OCs and
okay.
No.
Oh, I got
not about
so
Dan
afraid. No. I got so afraid that you were about to say, we're going to do a whole episode where we just talk about you writing that one singular YouTuber fan fiction.
Oh my gosh. Now we have to.
Anyways, so
that's rough,
I just
buddy.
Exposed myself, and even if I end up regretting that later, it's here, and I'm not going to be able to get you to edit it out.
No, it's there forever.
So
I accept the C on creativity. I felt like I had a good enough grasp on the plot that I didn't have to make anything up. So
yeah, I'll give you a B.
I'm okay
because
with
I do like the things that you said, but I like them mostly for the laughs. Whereas a C I like everything, but I prefer the plot. So I'm gonna give you a B.
Okay, I can accept that. I think Misa in the serial killer fandom
is so accurate.
It's gonna be the Death Note Tumblr AU, where Light is Tumblr user Kira 42069. Is a serial killer, okay? And he is one of those, like, internet mysteries where he posts scary, creepy things, but no one knows if it's real or not.
Okay.
Right? So people on Tumblr, who are teenagers, are trying to crack the code, right? They're trying to figure out, like, the mystery. Is he really a serial killer or not? Now, Misa, being in the serial killer fandom, is dedicated to solving the crimes, okay? But she wants to get to the bottom of who is Kira 42069.
I'm gonna die. I'm going to pass away.
XX Kira 42069XX. Okay.
Oh, with the underscores.
With the underscores.
You know it's XX underscore.
So she tries to get to the bottom of it, and while she's solving this mystery, she realizes that she has feelings for Tumblr user XX Kira 42069XX. And oh my gosh, what if she makes her own serial killer OC?
Yes.
Do you remember the serial killer fandom teens on TikTok? Have you seen that stuff?
Oh, Ellie, I have seen it.
Yeah, there's the girl that made like the Ted Bundy, like she's Ted Bundy's daughter.
Yeah, the serial killer's daughters.
Yeah, the serial killer's daughter. It's like Disney's Descendants, but with serial killers.
To pass away.
I decided to pass away. That I like pulled a muscle. Okay, so anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Misa is that girl. She's the girl making a like I'm Kira's girlfriend OC on Tumblr. This is like Death Note came out in like 2006 or something. So, this was a little bit before Tumblr was the way that I remember it. But if we're gonna do this, like, AU 2011 Tumblr.
Yes,
incredible.
correct.
I mean, we're talking, Homestuck, the height of the Hitalia fandom, which I believe we will be talking about in an out-of-character episode.
And I literally... that sent me. I don't know where it sent me, but I was gone.
I was gone. I astral projected when you reminded me that Hitalia exists.
The only other thing... We didn't really talk about canon relationships, but the one that you did mention was Misa and Light, which I think is the only one. And it's only semi-canon. Because it's one-sided, so I don't even know what to call it.
I would say fake. A one-sided like, Misa canonically is in love with Light. Light canonically uses her, but has no actual romantic feelings for her. Because he's a serial killer.
Because he's crazy.
Anyway, what's next on our rubric? Oh, canon ships. Oh, I was gonna say ships.
Yeah, canon ships.
None of those other ships are canon. As far as other ships go, though, a lot of Matt and Mello.
Which, again,
I'm
here for it.
Like, sure,
However,
who doesn't love a good pair of gays?
I don't know why he's so big! Why is this ship so huge? He's just kind of hanging out.
Is Matt hot?
Yeah.
He is? Oh, well, there you go, that's why. Another ship that really baffled me was Mello and Near. I didn't read any fics about them because I was too busy trying to figure out anything about Light's family, which again, I was not successful.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also trying to figure out, like, what Elle and Light's actual dynamic is outside of people shipping them. Here's the thing about the ships in this show that I genuinely, like, I hate Light, and I don't think anybody could make me not hate Light.
Nope.
I hope he dies. And he does, so I got my wish,
too.
which is very cool for me.
Very cool for you.
People ship Elle and Light.
I
do not care.
I
Bro,
don't care.
Live your dreams.
I used to be super big. I think I talked about this in the intro, but I was super, super big on it. And now I'm able to realize that Light is not someone who should be romanticized, which is exactly what I did with any character,
and a lot of
any
people
person.
did. Yeah, sure.
You know, in middle school, I totally romanticized that, which is whatever. But now that I'm able to not do that, I don't want Light to be around another person ever again.
Ever. No.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
So I don't ship him with anyone. I used to be super big on Elle and Light, and honestly, that's the only ship that I, like, saw. Because I can't see Light ever being truly in love with Misa.
No.
I don't want any of the Shinigami to be romantically involved with anybody. That is yucky bad.
It's
Ryuk
fine.
Cares so little about everything, and Rem cares just a little enough.
No, it's fine. They're demons.
They're demons.
They're demons. Who cares?
They're gods of death. Who cares?
Who cares? They don't.
They don't care.
Obviously.
No.
But the one thing that I want to say in regards to Light and Elle, I can see why people would ship them, but only if they're ignoring Light's entire canon characterization.
Yeah, literally. You have to ignore his whole everything.
Yeah, I think also, and I mentioned this when I called you at 11:30 p.m. last night, yelling because I want to watch Death Note so bad.
Yes.
But I couldn't because we were recording today. I mentioned last night, I think Elle is coded as an autistic character.
Yes. I love that.
I do too. So I feel weird about the way that sometimes fandom treats characters that are coded as autistic or other kinds of neurodivergent, that they are either childlike in their, like, innocence, or they're incapable of normal human emotion or empathy. Super bothered by that. I could go on about that for a long time.
It's very upsetting.
And I saw a little bit of that, that did bother me. But Light and Elle, like, so that's Elle's characterization. Light has no empathy to give at all.
No.
And he doesn't care that he doesn't care. And so I don't think he's capable of real love for any other person.
No.
I mean, we see how he treats his dad and his sister.
He killed his own sister to protect himself. Yeah. That's kind of bad.
It's pretty bad. A lot of the fics that ship Light and Elle are basically just trying to explain away why Light did the things he did. There was a lot of, like, oh, he was possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
Some people made Kira not a separate character, but it's I don't want to say Jekyll and Hyde situation,
That's
but
what I was about to ask, yeah.
When Light has the Death Note, he is a different person, and then when he forgets about the Death Note, he's back to normal, and he's good, or better, at least, you know? So, there was one fic that I read that was shipping Elle and Light that was like that, and I thought it was very interesting, mostly because I wanted to see, you know, what do people treat these two characters as together, because they're either completely out of character, or they're justifying things in a very strange way. A lot of people were just trying to explain away, like, well, Light didn't mean it, or he's just a kid and he grows out of it. It's like, no, this dude's a nut job.
This dude
he deserves electric chair, light, guillotine. So,
literally.
Yikes. So that was one ship that I thought was interesting. I understand why people are so drawn to it. They're like the two main characters. They have that, like, cat and mouse detective and serial killer dynamic, which is very alluring to a lot of people. Myself included. I love that dynamic. I mean, like...
Me too. I love it.
One of my favorite shows ever is freaking Hannibal. And that's like the whole show.
That's the whole show, yeah.
I think that's a very interesting character dynamic, but weird way to justify it.
For sure.
Another ship that... okay, this is... please no one freak out. So I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna go into it, and no one's gonna freak out. A lot of people shipped Light and Ryuk. Which is, okay, weird, right? And I know you're making that face, and it is weird, but here's the thing.
I am making a face.
I did not read any fanfiction for Light and Ryuk, because I was a little scared. I was frightened. However, I do think
he has no lips. How can he get a kiss? Very ugly. No kiss for him.
No kiss for him. Ryuk is very ugly. No kiss for him.
He has no lips. Permanent smile.
He's very spooky. Ookie spooky boy. Okay, no. But again, okay, and stop. I told you not to freak out. Listen. I think the dynamic between a psychopathic teenager who serial kills and is enabled by a demon god that gave him the power that he possesses.
Yeah.
That is an interesting...
It is interesting.
And I'm not saying shipping-wise, like, I want them to be together. I just mean...
Yeah.
Platonically, as, like, their interaction is fascinating to me. So I really liked seeing people exploring that relationship deeper.
It's interesting, definitely.
On, like, the psychology of Light versus what Ryuk's whole deal is.
Yeah.
Everything else, I don't know what's going on. Most of the Misa and Light fics were exploring the fact that their relationship was one-sided, which I thought was really interesting. And then there was that one where she was like a yandere. She goes full psycho after he rejects her, which I think is awesome.
Which is fantastic. One thing I wanted to talk about is you asked if people know, if the general public
about
knows what a Death Note is.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, no.
Okay.
People know of, like, Shinigami, because that's a god of death. But
sure.
Not everyone
Yeah,
believes
it's
in
a
a god
legend.
of death. Yeah, a legend. No one knows what a Death Note is. So I'm just gonna go over the grades that I gave you in the rubric. So,
Okay.
general plot, A, story nearly 90% plus correct.
Amazing.
Creativity, I gave you a B, which is I can vibe, but I like it mostly for the laughs.
Yeah, that's very generous of you.
Thank you. Characters, their moral alignment and characterization is solid, so I gave you an A on that one.
Okay.
And then canon relationships, I give you an A, which is all relationships listed are canon, but there aren't any really relationships, you know? And you got all of those.
Sweet.
Right. You did very, very well.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm surprised or not that the Death Note fanfiction was so giving.
It was
You know?
delightful.
I'm so
I had
glad.
a great time.
I have never been so happy before. I want you to watch it so
Yeah,
bad.
I'm watching it as soon as this
It
is
is
done.
so good.
One thing I did want to say,
Okay.
look, we all know the Death Note 2017 Netflix movie is garbo trash. I don't even need to watch it to know that. I said those Wolf brothers are cute. I lied, and Nat Wolf is not that cute. Sorry, Nat.
Nat Wolf is
Hey,
not
Nat
that
Wolf,
cute.
if you're listening to this,
Alex
I'm
Wolf?
sorry. Your brother
Ooh.
Alex is the hotter one.
He's so
He's
hot.
so hot.
Nat Wolf is not that hot.
Friendship ended with Death Note 2017. Hereditary is my best friend now. Yeah, so we love Alex Wolf. King.
Literally. We love
But
him.
anyway, even though the Netflix movie is bad, okay,
We are aware.
I will say, I'm getting close to the mic for this one.
Okay.
The casting of Willem Dafoe as Ryuk is god tier.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
I heard his voice from the anime, and I was like, ooh, ookie spooky. And then I saw
Ookie
when I was
spooky.
reading that Willem Dafoe plays him in the movie, and I was like, I am upset
It's
that this movie did poorly because
God tier
him
casting.
as Ryuk is like, I could not imagine another person doing that as well as, and I'm a huge Willem Dafoe fan. I believe I told you last night, the way Ryuk looks in
Yeah.
the anime is just how Willem Dafoe looks like rolling out of bed after a bender, going to a shoot at 6 a.m. after having coffee and cigarettes for breakfast. That's just what Willem Dafoe's face looks like. That's just how he is.
It's just how
So
he
it's
looks.
perfect.
It's perfect. That's so good.
I don't know if you have any other thoughts about anything, or if
I don't think so.
if that's it. Did we get
Um,
it? Did we nail it?
I think that's it. You nailed
Wow.
it. We are going to have a future episode where we talk about Death Note the musical, which I am very excited for.
Very excited for that.
Very, very excited. Do we want to tease any of our next coming episodes?
Let's see. This is episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4, I will be grading Emma on one of my favorite video game series of all time. If you follow me on Twitter, that could mean a lot of things because I like video games a lot. I mentioned this in a former, I think in Full Metal Alchemy.
Part Metal Alchemy.
In our episode, Part Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I did tease, I think, what that video game series is about. After that one, we're doing another video game. Actually, it's a very, very popular indie game that spawned an absolutely insane fandom and
Insane.
a great soundtrack.
Some good fan songs.
And
fan-made
some
songs
great
as well.
fan songs. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Emma, are we going to
know.
sing the rap on our episode?
Can we please?
Yeah.
Can we please? I know nothing about this game, but I do know all of the words to one of the very, very popular fan songs about it, so.
And after that, we are doing an anime about guys being dudes.
Guys being dudes.
You can interpret that however you want.
Yeah, however you want.
That could mean a lot of things, but it's one of those
That could mean a
guys
lot of
being
things.
dudes.
It's
anime.
guys being dudes.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I don't know. I still haven't written an outro.
That's fine. This is it now.
thank you everyone for listening. Follow us on Twitter at podnocontext if you want to see what we're up to. And so and we tweet there sometimes, so that's where you can keep up with us and see where we will tease new episodes and stuff. And every so often, Emma and I will be asking people for fanfic recommendations before we record. So if you have a fandom that you're in, we might be asking for your help in the future, which would be really nice to have people involved in.
It would be great.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a good one. Watch out for notebooks coming out of the sky.